Okay. So is my screen visible, Anuj?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So once I've started with my presentation, I plan to switch off my camera so that it doesn't disturb me. So hello everyone. Good evening once again. This is me, Priyanka, and today I'm going to. It's a continuation of my session which I've been taking with Teacher Class platform, and I must say it's a very nicely designed and conceived platform, which is good for us educators to share our learning with other educators around the world or our country. So my name is Priyanka Tiwari, and today what we are going to do is we are going to learn few more features of Google Slides. So initially in the first few sessions, I have already covered few things, but the poll has told me that I need to revise it a little bit. So I will do that since 41% have never heard of Google Slides. So I will do little modification what I had planned for today. So before I start, this is a lovely quote which I found on the net, and it's given by Mr. David. He himself is an educator. So it says that we need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand because it is the pen and paper of our time, and it is the lens through which we experience most of our world. So this is what we teachers we know that this quote is so relevant in today's times, isn't it? We do believe that yes, technology is something which is the today's pen and paper, isn't it? So what we are going to do is we are going to continue with Google Slides. I really don't know why my slide is not changing. Okay, I'll show it in this mode first. So Google Slides, what is it? It's a web-based presentation software that enables users to create engaging presentations that consist of individual pages, which are called slides, which may contain text, graphics, sound, movies, hyperlinks, or any other such objects. So how do we get creative with Google Slides? So what we have covered till now, I'll just give an overview. Do not worry, when I continue with my presentation, I'll touch upon all these topics in a short way. So we have learned till now how to access Google Slides, how we can use a template, a ready built-in template, how to customize the slides. We have also learned how we can add the graphical elements. And what do we mean by graphical elements is how do we add or insert audio, video, and whoever has worked on Microsoft PPT, you all must be knowing about these elements. So, yeah. So what we are going to do, what we are going to learn today is we are going to learn how to customize and resize the slides so that you can convert it into digital worksheets. Okay, so that's a very interesting feature. And then we'll also learn how to insert link to other slides, inbuilt slides or other URLs. Then, while presenting, how can you engage your audience or students through the question and answer mode session in the presentation mode? Okay, so when you're working remotely, like right now, this session which is going on, and somebody said in the chat that while taking webinars, he or she has used Microsoft PPT. So here, when we do anything remotely, we are not in direct contact with the audience. But if you use the question and answer feature of Google Slides, we can be in contact with your target audience. Okay, so let's get ready. And so first thing, we all need to be logged into our Gmail account. So that's the very first basic necessity. So whichever device you are right now holding, whether you are attending this through a phone or a laptop, in fact, if you heed to my suggestion, I would say please, if you're even if you're doing this webinar using a phone, please do this. The things that I'm going to teach you, please do it on your laptop because it is more comfortable and you'll be able to see all the features more clearly. So if you have already been logged into Gmail account, then there are two ways which can lead you to the Google Slides. Okay, so one is when you click Google Slides from the Google app launcher, or you can simply type this word, that is slides.google.com, in the web browser. Okay, so I'm going to show it practically also. Do not worry, even if you don't remember what I've just written on the slide. So let's begin. So I'm going to take you straight away to my browser. So here, if you see, I've already logged into my Gmail account. And one of the ways I said was that you should be logged in the device wherein you're going to use it, right? So I'm already logged in. First way is you can access Google Slides from the Google App Launcher. Now here, if you see on the top right, when I'm rotating this hand, these dots are the Google App Launcher. When you click on it and you just drag it down a little, scroll down, you see this yellow icon where it's written slides. Click on it and you are directed to the Google Slides tab. It opens an entirely new tab. So this is the Google Slides interface. This is the page, okay, wherein you will be able to see all the slides that you have made. Now, since these are mine, so you can see mine. So this was one way. Another way is, let's say if you are there in your Gmail, you're there in your inbox, and you don't want to go from the Google App Launcher, what you can still do is, you can just go on a new tab, and in the browser, you simply type, that is slides.google.com. Once you type this and press enter, you come back to the same page. Okay. And let's say, because since I was already logged into my Gmail account, I don't want to take all the pain and go to straight away a new blank PPT, a new blank presentation. So you can do that also. You just need to type in your browser. So I'll just revise. If you want to go straight away to a blank PPT, then you need to type this, what I'm typing right now, that is slides dot new, just this much. When you press enter, you will not go to your the main page wherein all your PPTs are there, Google Slides are there, but you will come straight away to a blank PPT, a blank presentation. Okay. So I hope till here everybody is there with me. If you want me to go a little slower, do let me know in the chat. Okay. So continuing further, so this is the basic interface of Google Slide. I'll just touch upon it in a little quicker way since we have already covered in previous sessions. So the main menus are basically the same, the way we have in PPT, that is Microsoft PowerPoint, file, edit, view, insert, format, and all those menus. Then on the right hand side, if you see, this opens up by default whenever you open a blank PPT. And this is wherein you see all the themes. So since we all are very adept at PPT, I'm assuming that we know what themes are. So themes are basically inbuilt designs where you don't want to add your own designs. So that time you can simply go and choose from a theme over here. So how can you choose? You can do like this. You can just scroll or choose any one design. So for now, I'm just going to take a simple one and I'm going to go for this one. When I choose this theme, just see the changes. I've chosen, I'll close it. And this is what is ready for me to work upon. So when I choose a theme, what happened? There's just one slide which is over here. So if you want to see what happens when you choose a theme, on the top left over here, if you see this plus sign and there's a small arrow button. When you click on that arrow button, you'll be able to see what happens when you choose a theme. There are many layouts available with different designs, but the same color scheme if you see, which we can choose according to our need. So with this, now what we are going to do is, I'm going to straight away start with today's plan. That is, we are going to learn how to resize a slide. Now this, if you see on the screen, and do not worry, I'll keep my promise that I'd said I'll be revising the things which I've covered in previous sessions. But what I will do is, while doing the page setup, I'll keep on teaching that also, how we have inserted images and videos. Okay, so do not worry. So right now what you see on the screen, this is the standard layout, which you get by default whenever you enter Google Slides or start working on it. Okay. Let's say I want to resize it. I don't want my slide to be in this landscape mode. This horizontal mode is called landscape mode, and the vertical mode is called portrait. So let's say I want to design my PPT, but I want it to be vertical, size of an A4 paper. Okay, let's say I want to make a PPT and then I'm going to print it out as a handout or as a worksheet. In that case, I don't want my slides to be in this mode, landscape. I want them to be in portrait mode because that looks better, working a worksheet size. Okay, so I'm going to teach you that. So over here, file menu. If you want to resize your slide, click on file menu, come down, and then you are going to scroll this bar, drag it down, and come to page setup. Okay, page setup, file menu, page setup. When you click on page setup, if you see here, this is the bar size by default, which is there on the screen. That is 16:9. That's the ratio. Now, if I want to change it, what options do I have? I have a standard 4:3. If you choose this, it will look like a somewhat a square, though not fully a square. But I don't want to go for that. I want to custom design it because in my mind, I have plans that I'm going to print out a worksheet, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click custom. And then this thing, I want all of you to note down that what is the size that you should write over here. Uh, the standard size of an A4 paper in the portrait mode is 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to type that 8.5 by 11, okay, inches. And when I click on apply, just see what happens. My whole slide, it has become the size of an A4 paper. The layout and the structure, the size is of an A4 paper. Okay. So this format we are going to take for, let's say, if I want to give a different look to my presentation, or if I want to make out a handout by taking the printout of these slides in the PDF format. Okay. So let us start now. Since we have learned how to resize, let us start adding elements, and then we will go gradually how to, while adding elements, I'll teach you how to make the worksheet also. So let's say the first part is done, okay? So we have resized our slide. Now we need to add a few elements. So let us start adding elements. What we are going to do is, okay, so first thing that I'm going to do is let me add first few blank slides, okay? So I'm going to click on the bottom arrow and I'm going to take a blank slide because blank slide gives us the option of putting whatever I want. So I'm going to get a blank slide, okay? And I'm going to copy these slides, blank slides, so that I don't have to insert all over again and again. So I'll do that later on. First, I'll do the background part. So let's say uh, title slide. First, come back to the title slide and let's give a nice title. So since I'm a maths teacher, so I'll simply write the name of my subject. And okay, so here I'll be recapping all the things that I've shared earlier. That is resizing the text box. If you see, my S of mathematics has come down. I want it to be in one line. So what do I do? If you remember from the previous session, you just have to bring your cursor on the right, this blue small icon button, and you just have to drag it. Okay. So once I've dragged it, but what do I see is that this S is coming on this design. So I'm going to go click on this, okay, and I'm going to drag it a little bit. So I'll place it like this, and I see that my mathematics has come right in between. Okay, I don't want any subtitles, so I'm just doing it away. Okay, I'm deleting it. So mathematics, second slide. Let us start now working on it. So if you remember, let us start insert first a picture. Okay, so I want my students to first let me insert a video also. Okay, I'll insert a video because I want my students to watch a video on, let's say, I'll go for video, click on video, and I can, this is the beauty, you can straight away choose from YouTube right in by staying in the Google slides itself. You don't have to go on a different web browser to look for it. Okay. So that is the best part, which I also love. So let us type what I want. I want something on, let's say, bar graphs. Okay. And let me search what I find. Okay, so I'm going to take the very first one since, so I'm liking this. I just click on it and select. So it will take some time, and then this video is inserted in my slide. If you see, now these are very various updates. We'll talk later on. Moment a video is inserted, this format option dialog box opens on the right hand side. And herein, you have many options where you can format this video. You can decide from where you want the students to see, keeping in mind that since gradually few schools are going to go and adopt hybrid learning, wherein you might be able, you might have to send the plans to the students how to study. So herein you can just decide from where you want the students to watch this video. So I'm not going into nitty gritties over here. You just have to choose the time and it does. Okay. So first, just let's concentrate on how to insert. We have inserted our video over here. I'm going to place it little over here in the center. Okay. And I'm going to write one instruction for my students, right? So for that, I need to insert a text box. Let me go and insert in the insert menu, text box, click on it, like drag it, and then you write. Okay, students, watch this video to know more about bar graphs. Okay, so I've written this short instruction for my students so that when they get this, they know what they have to do. Okay, so what do I do? Now this font is very, very small, right? So this is very small. So what do? I have to make it a little bigger and in a readable form. So before, if you remember from my previous sessions, before we do any formatting with the text, we need to select it. Okay. So let us select it. Once this text is selected, you can do whatever formatting you want to. And the formatting options are basically the same, which are very, you can understand it on your own. And that is, this is B for bold, italic, underline. This is text color, and this is the text size, and this is font style. So I don't want to play with font style, but I want to increase the size. So just go on tapping on the plus icon. So when you keep on increasing, see the number also increases, and this also has become a readable form, right? So I have put this instruction also for my students that watch this video to know more about graphs. Okay, so I've done this. Now students, when they get this slide, they'll be watching this video. Now, once this video is done, they have watched the video. I want to explain the structure of the graph. How does a bar graph look? What is the structure? How do we, let's say if I want to make it a little bigger also, I'm going to make it a little bigger so that the video is appears a little bigger on the screen. So how did I resize it? If you remember, if you have to resize any object that you have added, you just have to go on the corner most, any point of the corner. Moment this cursor becomes a double-sided arrow like this, you just have to drag it. Okay. So once you drag it, and if you want to change the position up, down, left, and right. So when your cursor becomes this four-sided arrow, hold the left button of your keyboard, and then you can just hold and re-drag it. Okay. So this is what we have done now till here. So my students have watched the video. Now I want them to understand the structure of the graph. So I'm not going to insert another slide over here because that we have already understood. So I'm going to show you one more feature of Google Slides through this only. Okay. So we have inserted one video. Now what I'm going to do is, since there was a person who said that he had this PPT, and many of us have PPT already in our devices, but we don't have it in Google Slides. What do you do at that time? And let's say right now when I'm taking this lesson, I know there is one PPT which has exactly the slide which I need. So there's a very good feature in Google Slides which says that you can import the slides from any PPT. Okay. So how can you import the slides? Go on File menu, click, And the very first thing over here, it will come to you like this. Let me show. When you click on the file menu, it is the fourth option, import slides. Okay. I'm repeating, import slides when you want to when you want few slides from another presentation to be included over here, you choose this option. So click on import slides. Now here, if you see, moment I click, all the presentations that are already there in my Google Drive, okay, they will come up over here. But let's say if there is nothing which is there in the Google Drive from where I have to take, you can anytime click on upload, okay, and then you can select a file from your device. So even if you have a Microsoft PowerPoint, you can very well select over from here. Okay. So for now, I'm going to choose a presentation which is there in my Google Drive, and I'm going to take something from here because this is based on data handling and it has a slide which I would like to reuse. Okay. So I just click on it and I click on select. Once I select, this tab will show me all the slides which are there in this presentation. Now this right now what you see on the screen is one of the presentation which I had used in my class in grade 5. So what I'm going to do is, I know it has very good slides. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose few slides which I'm going to import over here. So let's say I'm going to choose this and this. So let me take this also. Okay, so 4 slides. I don't want the title slide. So I'm going to, once I have chosen all the slides, you just have to click on import slides. But once I click, just please pay attention what will happen. Why? Because there is a difference in the structure of both the slides. Here, my slides which are there in the Google Slides, they are in portrait mode. Okay. And this, the ones which I'm importing are in landscape mode. So definitely the formatting will change. But I'm doing it deliberately because once I do that formatting again, you will actually get to know how to do the other features. Okay. So I'm doing it deliberately. So let's say import slides. So once I have clicked on import slides, let me see if it has come or not. It is coming. Okay, so once I drag down, I see that it is still getting loaded. Okay, so let it load first, then I'll show you. So what will happen is once these all things get loaded up, we will see that the formatting has entirely changed. If you remember, the slides has a very nice presentation, but here since they all have become elongated. Okay, so we are going to make it correct. Okay, and how are we going to make it correct? See, I'm going to click on this, and this is the slide which I had taken. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now, since this is not showing the structure of the bar graph which I wanted students to see, the structure of the bar graph is here on this slide, fourth slide. So what do I do if I want to make it the third slide? If anybody remembers from the last session, you can do. For others, just a recap. If you want to move any slide, top, bottom, anywhere, you just have to click on that slide. I want to move this slide, fourth one, to the top, a little bit top. So just click on it, press your left button down and drag it. You just have to drag it. Okay, and leave. You see, it has become the third slide now. So this slide now has the structure of the bar graph. Okay, all the elements of a bar graph, but of course it's distorted. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to resize it by dragging it down. So I'm going to resize it quickly. So if you see, this has the structure of the bar graph. This is the data on which this bar graph was made, right? So right now I'm not going to do anything with this data because I've taken it from Excel sheet. Okay. So this bar graph that you see over here, let me move it a little bit first and then I will speak. Yeah. If you see, so this is the data and this is the bar graph which the students can see and understand. So after watching the video, the students will come and they will see that how this data has been converted into a bar graph. So here when you finally present, which I'll show in the end, you will speak about the structure of the bar graph. So now this can be a science lesson also. You can have a diagram, a picture of whatever lesson that you're taking up, and you can have it over here after the video. Okay. So I have done this. We have imported slides. Now the other slide, when we have done this, I want them to do a quick, let's say a short quiz. Okay, so short quiz. How do I do that? Even that is possible in Google Slides with animation. So now I recap a little bit of animation, and after that I'll tell you how to link it with slides. Okay. So let's say I've come over here, and this has been dragged down. So I'm going to first resize it a little bit. Okay, so that it is readable. And since everything has changed, I'm going to reposition the things. Now, so now this is one slide wherein this is a quiz, a small quiz which we have already made. Okay, so what we have done is we have put the questions, a small graph is there, and when we present this quiz, I would like to show you first how this looks. Then I'll tell you how I have done it. Okay, so for a moment, I'm going to present this slide itself to show you how this will look, and then I'll teach you. So when I present this slide, if you see over here, this is what happens. A child will see this, okay, and he has to answer. How many children swim? Let's say when you elicit the answers from the students and then you show them the answer like this. So this is the correct answer. The answer was hidden. Then how many children play tennis? Once you get the responses from them, you show the answer, reveal the answer. And similarly for the last one. So this is what I have done for this slide. Now, how did I do it? These are very simple animations. I will just redo it so that you all understand. So let's say this is the one which was going down, if you remember. I want to change its animation, okay? So click on any object that you want to put animation to, okay? Come over here and come over here, these three dots over here, top right, if you can see. Top right, click on it, and then moment you click, you get this option, animate. Click on that. When you click on animate, you get an animation pane opened on the right hand side. Now here I can do everything. Now right now, if you see all the animations which I've already used, they are showing over here. Okay. So the animation was fly out to bottom. So it went away, right? It was falling down. So let's say I don't want to go away over here. I will just change the animation to show you how it happens. So I'll just say I want to change the animation. So click on this arrow. This is the current animation on it. I'm going to change it. Okay, or click on the arrow button. I want it to fly out to, let's say, right. Okay, I want it to go on the right hand side. Now let's say I don't know what does this mean. If you are new to Google Slides, or if there is any animation the language of which is not clear, you're not able to imagine how it will look when played. So there is this very good option in Google Slide, which is you can preview the animation also. So I have done fly out to right? So let me see how it works. When I click on play, it will show me only that animation which I have changed. See, it will go like this. It will fly out. Okay. So once I have previewed my animation, I'm happy with it. I'll stop it. And this is the speed also, speed of animation. It went away quickly. Of course, if you want to reveal the answer quickly, let it be fast enough. Okay. And then on click. So there are two things which you need to be careful when you're doing animation. What type of animation and how do you want that animation to happen? Now, since I want to control how the children, when the children see the answer, so I'm going to keep it on click only, not after previous. If I do it on previous, what will happen is even before the children the answer will be revealed. Okay. So similarly, there are other options, other animations which I've already put on over here. So let us now go to the main agenda of the day, that is worksheet. I have done everything. I have taught the lesson. I have recapped through this quiz also. Now I want my students to do the worksheet. I want the students to write, okay, in that. How do I do that? Come over here. Now this I will not show you. I'm going to delete this slide a little bit. I'm going to show. I'm going to keep this slide. So now if you see, this is all distorted. So I'm going to make a fresh one. And in the meanwhile, we'll learn also gradually. So let's say I want to make a slide of maths, okay? And I want my students to write few answers or few sums. But we know that in Google Slides, when we share, in fact, any PPT that you share with anyone, Once a child opens in his or her device, it is editable. It becomes editable. He can change the question. I don't want that to happen, right? So what do I do? So I'm going to quickly do away with all these things which are there already, and then I'll show you. So first thing that we are going to do is planning. Now, since I'm doing for maths, so I have in my mind that I have to put a square grid paper. Okay, let's say if I'm talking about primary. If you're taking science, or if you're taking English, Hindi, then you can take the pages of those notebooks. Okay, that is single lined and double lined, whatever. It's your need that will decide. So let's say I'm going to insert. How do I make a worksheet? Insert. I'm going to take one image, click on image. There are these options available. I'm going to take search the web. Okay. Although if you have a page layout already there in your system, like I have it, but I'm going to show how we take it from web. So you can even choose this one. So I'm going to click on search the web. Here I'm going to type. Okay. So if you remember videos, for videos also, you do not have to go anywhere else. You don't have to open a new tab. For images also, you don't have to open a new tab. So here I'm going to write square grid paper. Okay. And let's define it more so that we get what we want, notebook. So moment you see, these are the square grids available. So if I want this grid to come over here, there are two ways. I click on it. Okay. And I click on insert. A shortcut way is, if I want this, I just simply press my left button down and I drag it. Simple as that. If you see, I'll simply drag it over here and leave. So voila, and I have my square grid paper on my slide. So I don't need, now I'm going to close it. So this is my square grid paper, right? So how will I convert into a digital worksheet? So you all know that if a child opens this PPT, what will happen is he or she can move this square grid paper wherever he wishes to move. I don't want that to happen. I want it to be restricted. Okay. So what we are going to do is, one of the ways is, of course, that you can convert it and save it as PDF. But I'm going to teach you another way to create a digital worksheet wherein you don't have to take a printout. Okay. So once this is done, I'm going to type in a few questions quickly. Okay. So where do I type? Of course, I need a text box. Anuj, do tell me if I have to stop in between and take questions. So I insert a text box and I'm going to put my question over here. So, okay, though I have noticed that the margin is on the right hand side, the red margin, but I'm not changing it because we are more concentrated upon the learning this part of the worksheet. So I'll just type in a question, solve, okay, solve the following questions. So I'm not able to see, and I know you also are not able to see. I'm going to make it a little bigger. So yes, so I'm going to make, yeah, 26. It's now a very good readable form, and I'm going to make it bold. Okay, and I'm going to underline it too. Okay, solve the questions, and I'm going to put the color of questions in blue so that the children answer in, let's say, black or green. It's up to you. Solve the following questions, and I press enter. Number one. Now I need to remove this underline part. Okay, so I'm going to remove this and bold part also. Number one, let's say 3.45 liters is equal to how much? Then I'm going to make question two. I'll just make two questions so that I just quickly show you how we do it. 0.56 liters is equal to, and a blank. Okay. How am I doing a blank? I hope you all know. We just have to press shift and a key which has the blank, this hyphen sign. So I've just taking two questions because we want to move forward. So I've taken these questions. Now, if I send this question to, let's say, any student, okay. So first, let me write the units also. Milliliters. I want it converted into milliliters. Okay. Moment if I send it like as it is, they'll be able to change the question. Now I don't want it to happen. So what do? I have to make this intact so that it is not touched. So what do I do is just click anywhere outside. So this is the worksheet, right? What you have to do, please pay attention. You have to save this as an image. Okay, this entire sheet, that is the square grid that you've made, you have to save it as an image, because image cannot be altered. Okay, so you have to save it as an image. So let me go, how do we save it? So there is one very nice tool which is inbuilt in our devices. Many of you might be knowing also, it's called snipping tool. Okay, and how do you access it? Or else you can take a screenshot also, but I would prefer snipping tool. You just have to go over here in this search bar over here, bottom of the screen, left side, and you just have to, since I use a lot of snipping tools, so it comes automatically, but I'm going to show you how it comes. You just have to type SNIP. Okay, SNIP. Please come. SNIP. So moment you type SNIP snip, I have this snipping tool open and you click on it, open. So this is a very nice tool. It works wonders when you want to take few parts of your screen as an image. Okay. So how do we use it? When I typed snip, it is there in your devices. You don't have to download it. Okay. It comes inbuilt with all the Microsoft Windows systems. So you snip and you click on new. Moment you click on new, everything gets blurred so that you get to highlight and your cursor becomes a plus sign. Okay, so you just have to, if you see here it's written, drag the cursor around the area you want to capture. So I want this sheet to be captured. So I'm going to click over here, press the button down, and I'm going to click like this. Okay. And when you leave the button, this is what happens. This sheet over here, it has come like this. I'm going to save it as an image. Okay, remember, so that it does not get changed. So how do you save this as an image? If you see, there's a small blue dot coming on it. Okay, so anywhere on this sheet, you just right click. Okay, right click, and you have to choose save as. When you choose save as, you have to save it as an image. Okay, so I'm going to save it in my teacher class folder, and I'm going to write, let's say, sheet. Okay, save. Once it is saved, I can minimize this. Sorry, I can just put it down. I don't want more. Okay, so once, and what do I do now? Now that image is there, that image that you have captured, that image has to be pasted in a new slide. Okay, so I'm going to insert one new blank slide. Okay, so I take this slide and I'm going to insert that image. How do I insert? Insert menu and image, upload from computer. Now, because it is there in my device, upload from computer. And here, if you see, this was the sheet I had saved. So just click on it. And this sheet, if you see, it has come over here. I'm going to drag it to fill my slide. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, the previous one is, I'm going to delete it because I don't need it. Now this is my digital sheet. If you see, the child will not be able to change the question. See, he will not be able to change the question. Okay, but the child will still be able to remove, see, move this. Again, an issue. So two things, okay, two important things that we are going to do so that our children simply do the worksheet when we send it to them. First thing, when we have decided what to keep, we have saved it as an image. You have inserted in a new slide, and then you need to make this image as a background of the slide. Moment you make this image as a background of the slide, they will not be able to even move this page. Okay, so let us do that. How do I do? Come over here on the top. Okay, and here, if you go over here in the edit option. Okay, so where is background? Anybody remembers? Okay, so I won't be able to hear from you. So let's go. We'll go on slide menu, And on slide menu, if you see, come over here and here it's written change background. Okay. So change background, click on it. And here I'm going to choose an image. Okay. So that image which is over here. So choose image, and I know it is there in my device. So browse. So two ways. So this is the second way that we can do. So browse, and I'm going to go for sheet. So it's here. Yeah, sheet. It will take time, and then it will be inserted as a background. Okay, done. So if you remember, see, this image was there which we had just inserted as an image. Okay, so this I can now remove, and now this cannot be done anything. I cannot even touch it. So even students won't be able to play with the sheet. The question is also intact. Now you want them to write. So how will they write? So you have to insert a text box. Okay, so you just insert a text box over here like this and leave it. Okay, one text box over there, another text box over this blank. Okay, so and when you click outside, though the text box will not appear to you, but once the student gets it, moment he clicks on this, that text box will come and he can write the answer as you wish. Okay, so this is the nitty gritty of making a digital worksheet. So I have taught the lesson through a video. Just a quick recap. Okay, I've taught the lesson through video. I have shown the pictures, the structure. I have taken a short quiz. Okay, and then I have prepared this digital worksheet also. So I've done all these things. Let's say while doing this sheet, when you have sent it to the students, okay, we have sent it to the students. How will he? Let's say he is not able to do. You want the children to learn. If they are not able to do, you don't want them to just be there when you are not there with them. You're not there in the class. So what do? You can insert a link. Okay, insert a link to a video, let's say on the YouTube, or to another slide in the same presentation. So see what you can do on the same sheet. I'm going to insert a text box. Okay, and I'm going to write a very small thing. I'm going to write, uh, do you need help? Okay, since the children are doing bar graph and I've based the question on measurement. So do you need help with previous concepts? Okay, then I'm going to write over here, click on this. Where? See, so I've written this for my students. Once they get this PPT, I'm going to make it a bold and little bigger. Do you need help with the previous concepts? Click on this. And where will they click? I'm going to insert a small shape. Okay, I'm going to insert a smile. Yes, this is very good. Okay, so I'm going to insert this small smiley for my students. Let's say if they've forgotten this previous concept, and what I want them to do is, let's say if they have forgotten how to do these questions, they just have to click on it. Now what will happen? I want this icon to be linked to a YouTube video. Okay, so what do? Wherever you want to put the link to, I'm just going to click this and go over here on the top, this menu, this line over here near this plus sign. Can you see this chain link? So click on that link, insert link. You see this opens up, and there are two options. You can either paste a link of a video, or you can link this smiley to any other slide in the PPT. Okay, so I'll just show you how it happens. So if you see, if I click on slides in this presentation, it will give me this option. Do I want it to connect it to slide to the first slide? But since I'm testing from the previous concept that I've taught, so I'm not going to link it to the previous slide. Okay, so I'm going to paste a link over here. So if I want to paste a link, I'm not having over here, so I have to get a link. So let us go and get a link first. So on the new tab, I'm going to I'm quickly search for conversion of units of measurement. Okay. and enter, and I'm going to go for videos, and I'm going to take the very first video. Okay, so okay, good. It's of the very first video, and I'm going to take the URL. Okay, so just click on it, and this is the URL that comes over here. So just select it, Control C, and come back to your presentation, and over here Control V. Okay, so this URL has come over here. Apply. Once you have done this, okay, see, this is coming over here. If when I click outside, if you see, the student will not be able to see anything. Okay, so he will just see this smiley. But when he see this question and he'll say that he has to click on this, and but he'll be able to see this video. This works only when it is in the presentation mode. Okay. So till now, I hope everything is clear. So we have done linking with the URL. Okay. The same way we can link it with the slides also in the same PPT, of course. Okay. Not a different PPT, in the same PPT. And the last thing, that is presentation mode. So I'll quickly present this, and then I'll tell you that feature also. So how do I present it? Okay, so let's say I've done everything, but I've never saved it. Yes, you remember. So you don't have to save anything in Google Slides. Everything gets saved automatically in your cloud, in your Google Drive. Okay, but we still haven't given any name to our PPT. Over here, if you see top left, untitled presentation. So just click on it, and moment the very first title slide has the word mathematics. So it has taken that by default. So I'm going to let it be. Mathematics is my PPT. So let us start, and I'm going to present it now. So let's see how it appears. So present, there are two things, okay? If you just simply click on present, I'll do that first so that you see how it everything looks. And then I'll tell you how that question answer session happens. Because right now, when I'm explaining everything, I know you might be having certain questions, but we are not able to put it to me, or maybe I'm not able to see the chat box. So this thing can be done away with when you use the question and answer session of the Google Slides. So first I'll show you the presentation first, how it looks in normal presentation. So click on present, and this is what happens. If you remember, okay, I did not do present from beginning. Let me do it again. Yeah, present now. So this is the first slide, okay? And right now I'll also show you this pointer. If you remember, this is for when you click on it, you can bring your students' attention over here, okay? Okay, so I've changed the slide also. This is the video that my students will see when they have watched the video. Change the slide after it plays. I'm going to change it. Then third slide, nothing is coming. Why? Because there was animation, you remember? So this is a table, and this is the structure of the bar graph. You can show, explain using the pointer. So students, that this is a x-axis, or wherein one parameter is shown and the another one. And then we go to the next slide, which is the quiz part. Okay, the quiz part. You can play this also. I'll quickly do away with this pointer. You just have to click on it again and it goes away. Okay. So we ask the questions, the answers are revealed. We go to the next slide and see, this is the worksheet. When the student gets this, if you send this PPT or this Google slide to your students, he will see it like this. When he clicks on it, he can write the answer in his PPT mode, okay? And if he goes over here, see, moment it comes over here on this smiley, it becomes a hand. When he clicks on it, a new tab opens, and he can go and revise his concept and then come back to the worksheet that he has to do. Okay, so this is all for this. And now coming back to your presentation part. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll tell you how to do question and answer session. Let's say this session was going on. Okay, and I'll first quickly press escape so that we come back to our slide. Okay, so when you want to have a question and answer session with your audience, you go over here. Okay, click on the arrow button, view. You have to choose presenter view. When you choose presenter view, this tab opens up. Okay, here. Now on this tab, go and click on audience tools. Click on audience tools. Okay, and yes, everything will come. audience question and answer, just click to present, audience tools, and in here what you will have is you will get create new. Okay, why it is not coming, just wait, I'll quickly do it again so that I get create new. Let me do it. I'll take a blank one and then I'll present it. Okay, you need to have a blank slide. I had not done that, so click on audience tools. Please. Okay, let it load the system. Presenter view. Okay, then audience tools. Okay, and create new. Why is create new not coming? This is correct. Okay, audience question and answer. There is some problem with my system. Just let me see first. Okay, so what I'll do is, teachers, I'll tell you how it works with images. Okay, so what you have to do is you just have to click on presenter view. Okay, once you click on presenter view, you have to click on audience tools and create new thing pops up. Now, since I've already created one, so that is why it is not showing me right now, but it will show in your system. Okay, so here what happens, you will get create new option. When you click on that, okay, you will be able to create a new questionnaire. Okay, and that questionnaire is visible to your audience. So right now there is some problem with my system. I don't know why it is not coming. I'm not able to show you all practically. I can just tell you in theory. So when you click on that, create new, a new questionnaire is created. Okay, and then you can present that question to your audience. So this is how it works. Okay, so everything is saved, and then you can have your question and answer session also with your audience. So as proposed. So Anuj, in the meantime, while I'm trying, if I get my question and answer session on that, is there any question from anyone which I can take up?
Sure, ma'am. So there are some questions which I'm going to share, but before that, let me run our other polls.
Okay.
So please participate in the poll and let us know how comfortable you feel now with Google Slide and how would you rate today's session. And ma'am, in the meanwhile, I'll share this question which teacher had asked.
Yeah, yeah. And in the meanwhile, I'm also trying why my question and answer session did not work.
Oh my God. Teacher, you can share your questions in the chat. Thank you so much, ma'am. You can
Thank you.
share your questions in the chat and we will take this question to the ma'am. In the meanwhile, please participate in the poll and let us know how comfortable you feel with Google Slides now. Sure, Guruji, then that question I will ask. Thank you so much, teacher. Please participate in the poll and let us know how useful you find the Google Slides for your classes and how likely you are going to recommend this tool with your peer teachers or to your schools. So, ma'am, we can take some questions now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, Harsha ma'am has asked that uh, she has asked that what about if we share the slides video, like the video when we started. So if we share
Mhm.
this video via mobile, will it be heard in the live class? Will it be audible?
Yes, yes. You just have to enable that share system sound if you remember, whichever platform you're using, whether it is Zoom, Teams, or whatever. So you just have to enable that share system sound and it will be audible. Since I had not enabled that, so that's why you were not able to hear the sound of my video.
And the other questions are, so Gur- just a minute.
Yes, yes.
Oh, the second question is about Gurjeet ma'am has asked that she could not save she could not save the slide after opening snipping tool, but stayed on the
Uh,
desktop.
Please repeat the question. I could not get it. What did not happen?
Yes, I'm also, it's she said that it could not save after opening the snipping tool, but it stayed on the desktop.
It's straight on the desktop. That image went on the
Yeah.
desktop. Is that what
Yeah.
she's saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
I
what
think she.
happens is, yeah, yeah. See, what happens is, Gurjeet ma'am, that when you open the snipping tool, the very last window that is open on your system, the snipping tool opens on that above that window only. Okay, so it will not when you snip the part that you want, it is always there in the snipping folder, and you just have to either copy paste it wherever you want, or you can save it as an image. There are two options available. So it went to your desktop since maybe that was the last window that was opened. Okay, so it works that way. I hope
Great,
I
ma'am.
have been able to clarify.
Yes, ma'am. And Harsha ma'am has asked that where she find the audio option while the sharing the video, where will be the option.
Okay, so actually, ma'am, it depends upon the platform that you're using. See, like right now we are using Zoom for this webinar. So, moment you click on share the screen, there is a small button wherein it is written share computer sound or device audio. You have depending upon the platform or tool you're using, you just have to click on that button, and the audio is there for the students. So on Zoom it is like share the system sound, and on Teams also, like I also use it in my classroom. Moment you click on share screen, then only you are able to see that. Okay, it is not visible like this on the tool. When you click on share the screen, there will be a small button with all your folders where it will be written share system sound. Just click on that and it will work.
Great, ma'am. So, teachers, if you have enjoyed our today's session, please, I have shared this message. So, if you have enjoyed us today's session, please share this message with your peer teachers. Help them or help us to build a larger community by sharing this message with them and invite them for our live classes as well. And
uh,
I'm also going to
Anuj,
share. Yes, ma'am.
yes, my system has started working and it is back. So I just want to quickly share my screen and show how that question answer session works. Okay, so can I do
Sure,
that?
ma'am. You can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
ma'am.
was just working on that itself. So teachers, I'm happy that I'm able to show you that also. So I'll just share my screen and yeah. So are you able to see my screen? It should be visible by now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So see what happens, teachers. That time I don't know why it did not work. Whichever PPT you have worked upon. Okay. So like this, I've just opened another one. Over here on the near this arrow, you just click over here and you choose presenter view. Once you choose this presenter view, this thing opens up. Over here, you click on audience tools. Okay. So when you click on audience tools, this is what happens. You get this start new. Okay, so click on start new. When you click on start new, see this is what happens. I'll just show you once I remove this. Yeah, so you see here, this is one URL. If you share this URL with your students, like right now I was not able to see the chat box, means because I was busy explaining. So let's say, but I want I wanted you all to pose questions to me. I could have simply pasted this URL in the chat box and I could have seen your question right on my screen. Okay, I would not have to go on the chat box. So I'll show you how it works. So audience tools, you get this URL. Okay, so when I click on it, right click, and I click copy link address. Okay, I'll minimize it. And when your students or your audience, when they are doing it, when you're presenting it, they'll be able to see only this right now, what you're seeing. Okay, they will be able to see this. So what you have to do is, once you have copied that URL, okay, I'll show you how it appears. What I'll do is I'll choose another user over here. I'll show you how it appears to another person. Okay, so if you see, I'll just paste that URL in my web browser. Okay, so either you can share this URL in the web browser with the other audience, or in the chat box. I'm pasting over here so that you are able to see how it appears. Control V and enter. So if I had pasted that URL in the chat box, okay, right now, in your devices, you would be able to see this. Okay, so here if you see, it's written ask a question. Now when I paste this URL, actually this system is for the audience. When I want to take questions from the audience, okay, so if I want that to happen, I just have to type my question. Let's say, okay, what do I type? I'm a math teacher, only numbers come to my mind. So let's say, what is 5 subtracted from predecessor of 10? Let's say, though I could have also asked how was my session rate on 1 to 10, but I do not want to do that since Anuj has already done. So I've typed a question. Okay, so this is how an audience types a question. So I am typing this question as an audience right now. Okay, I'm not the presenter who is typing. So submit. So if I am the audience, this question I have posted to the presenter, which right now I myself am the presenter also. Okay, so this question, when the audience posts to me, how will I be able to see? When I come back, okay, I'll show you how it appears to me. So I'll say this again. This question has been posted by my audience. Okay, so one from you all. And how it appears on my screen over here, if you see, when I come back over here and quickly, this works in the presentation mode. Okay, when I scroll down over here, if you see, this is question and answer icon. I click on it, and I'll be able to see on my screen that some from the audience has asked this question. Okay, so if I want to answer, I can just, like, I'm speaking verbally, I can answer, okay, this is a question which has come up. And I can also present this question. Let's say I want others also to know that one person has asked me what. So I can just click on present. And if you see, I just minimize it a little bit. You can see this is what is visible to everyone now. Okay, so everyone can see that this anonymous person, okay, has asked this question from me, the presenter, what is subtracted, and I can take it up verbally. So this is a very good feature when you are working remotely in the sense when you are taking a webinar, like Gurjeet ma'am, I think she said. So when you take a webinar, and there are many times you can even hide this question. Okay, so I'm hiding this question now, so no one will be able to see. Okay, so when you're taking a webinar nowadays, you must have attended lots of webinars in Zoom, and you're not enabled to switch on your camera or ask questions. That time, if the presenter wants, he or she can use this feature. And if you are the one, if you take webinars for other people, you can use this feature. It works wonderfully to interact with the audience. Okay, so from my side, Anuj, it's done, and I'm happy that I covered this finally.